for when
Tilt
nobody.
your thing.
Yeah. Oh, we're all in
You have
there.
to go a little more
Tall.
like a lot.
We're
Make
in
sure to look
there.
at the small one, not the big one. Otherwise, this.
Look at oh yeah,
We look good.
yeah. Don't look at the big one.
Do you guys hear that?
Where are we live right now?
We're
Oh,
live.
I thought you were going.
Oh, there we go.
We're live.
Oh, we got one person.
We do.
No, you. Yeah, we got some live chat. Oh, we done. Okay, you done YouTube.
Yeah. We're just listening. We're listening to New Horizons, the EP that's out right now. And maybe we should schedule these things a little further in advance, too.
Yeah, maybe.
But, you know, who cares? That's fine.
Celebratory night. But yeah, we
Celebratory night. So we're just listening to the EP that is out now. Listening to, I think, my favorite song, and we're just gonna hang out for a little bit and just chat about the EP. And if any of you guys are here, you can hop in. So we'll let it roll for a little bit and then get started. I like this backdrop.
Let the people
Look at the backdrop. We got microphones. We got sound panels and everything else. All right, I'm gonna kill that for a second, just because. Why not? What's up, everybody? We've never gone YouTube Live as a band, so this is a new thing. Hopefully, you can hear us because we didn't test it. But chat us where you're from.
I'll see if it's working. Right?
Yeah, go on.
Keep going.
Chat us where you're from. We just wanted to hop on and talk about our EP that is live.
Oh yeah, we're good. Dude.
Out in the interwebs right now. I'm really digging the way the studio looks back here. You guys, you can't see. We'll have to do like an actual,
Right. Scoot, you can see the drums a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do an actual thing where we show you guys the studio at some point.
Snare. I know, that snare's looking nice.
But we wanted to hop on. The purpose of this live stream is we just kind of wanted to celebrate our new project that came out. I was playing it at the beginning of this live stream, New Horizons. It is everywhere you listen to music, and we could not be more excited about it. It was our first self-produced project that we have ever embarked on, which, I want to talk a little bit just like about that process too, because it was a new thing to us as a band. So I want to know just from you guys, because I don't think we've ever talked about it, but like, what was some of your biggest concerns, and what were some things that you felt like were just super different us doing it? I'm gonna toss the mic. I got the mic right here. I'm gonna toss it to Bryce. I'll go to Bryce. It's not, but
Hey, Ryan Wilson, how you doing?
What up, Ryan?
Yeah, biggest concerns. I mean, there were a lot because we've always had other people mixing and mastering our stuff because they're professionals and they've been doing it, and we know that they're going to be doing it well. And Matt one day he's like, "Hey, I want to try doing it," and Brad and I, we were like, that?
Scary
and,
stuff.
Of course, there was a learning curve, but I think you knocked it out of the park, man. What was it, 2 years you've been doing this now?
Much love. About
Brian, how you doing?
What up, Brian? What up, Brian?
Yeah.
I call him B. I was going to say B, but he's B, so, Jay Rudd, we got Joe
Jay Rudd.
Let's go.
What up, Jay Rudd?
How's it going?
I love your TikToks.
The youth group. I miss the youth group days.
The youth group days, yes. For all of you who,
what's up?
Were with us when we were in junior high. That's when this band started. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, so keep going.
No, you're good. But yeah, just Brad and I doubted you hardcore. We didn't tell you, but it was.
Oh man,
we were like, "There's no way it's going to work out," and then
I think we wanted to make sure.
You just kept getting better and better, and there was a point where I'm just like, "That's it." Like, it's good.
I think we were
And
like,
I ate my words happily.
I think when we wanted to kind of like Matt said, like embark on the like self production of everything, like we were worried, like we wanted to make sure the quality didn't dip at all from what we were doing before, because before we were working with this awesome guy named Ryan McConaughey.
Ryan.
Shout out if he ever
Woo,
sees
woo,
this. Who works at Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, and we wanted to make sure that that quality didn't dip if we were going to start doing it. And I think I think we just kept working on the rough mixes and the demos until we got them to a point that we were super happy with them and that they were indistinguishable, from.
Yeah, I think, one of the things a lot of you guys probably don't know about us too. I mean, we've been doing this since, junior high, kind of like we said, and we haven't, like Bryce said, ever really done our own music production. And like the guys are saying, like, it's a scary thing, like to not only, I think for me, like for us to create this project and then put it in the world after some of the songs you guys have resonated with, Sick of It All, and some of the other songs, right? And be like, is this going to sound like junk? I don't know. And I think, I feel like it brought us like closer together as a band too, just because, it's made us all become really an integral part of the process. So I think just speaking for myself with this EP, I was definitely like nervous about it. But these guys really encouraged me in the journey, and even to encourage you guys, man, you can learn anything like from YouTube. We have YouTube and we can learn whatever. And we own a lot of credit to Nathan Wagner, who's done a lot of production on our past stuff. I think he inspired me big time to embark on the journey, but also just technology, man. Technology's come so far that like we're able to do this, and we're able to create out of our house, right? Which is crazy. But yeah, chat us any questions as we're live in here. I know, like, I feel like we have a lot of people that aren't like necessarily in our area that follow us on YouTube.
Yeah,
so
cool. Appreciate that, Ryan. We'll be new stuff. We'll have some new stuff that's also rock too coming. So it'll be a mix of the new style and the Sick of It All.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got stuff that's like sounds a bit like our old stuff, but like a more evolved sound to it. And then we've also got some stuff that's like completely new.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of things that we're working on, and I hope they all turn out as good as this EP did.
Yeah, they're gonna turn out even better. And
the Search and the Find was taken off Spotify. Yeah, we decided that it was. Don't get us wrong. We love what it is.
Beans,
but it's a way different than what our sound is
very
now.
Different style.
You can still get to it on YouTube and on iTunes and everything, but we felt like it didn't mess with our sound to when people are shuffling our music for an older Search and the Find song to come on when a newer song comes on. We thought it was a bit jarring in style.
I'm gonna get rid of this one and just post the link to this.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yours the whole dude, did we write that? We probably wrote that with like in that youth group, but was that with Joe, you're probably around us when we wrote that. I mean, not thinking back.
Well,
that was
for y'all that don't know. I mean, for you guys that don't know, so yeah, our first project was literally we were like
sophomores in high school.
Yeah, we're in high school, and it's really formative. But one of the great things I think about our band that we've been able to see kind of come alive is we've gone through different phases of life together. So we've literally been doing this thing for like, has it been 10 years?
10 years this summer.
So yeah, there's a lot to celebrate. But we've been doing this so long, we've been able to see the progression of our band over time, which has been, I think a thing a lot of artists nowadays don't really get to see, because it's very much about like, hey, we got this new single, we got this new song. And it's not really, you don't get to see the journey, you don't get to learn and see the band grow and see the actual, changes happen. But the Search and the Find, yes, it's still on YouTube. If you've been following us or been a subscriber on YouTube of ours since literally the beginning, you're probably like, is this a different band?
Yeah, and I think each album does have a backstory, because Dante asked any backstory on these albums.
Right.
I think each one definitely mimics like what like the point in life we were all at, you know, like where we were at as a band. So like
Right.
I don't know, well, you wrote most of Battlefields. So
Yeah.
you can speak to that
Yeah.
more,
So
like, how the backstory
Dana
of
Demo 956. That's a super cool username. Is there any backstory on these albums, for example, the Battlefields? Yeah, I mean, I think one of the crazy things about like our music up until this point, I don't know if you guys would agree, but I kind of feel like when we've written these songs, I've not fully understood what they mean until like literally a little bit further down the line, until like the EP's been out or the album's been out for a year. Um, and I think the each album has had definitely, a theme to it. As far as backstory on Battlefields, I mean, that was our first time, I guess I would say, recording in like a like going out doing it ourselves. We were going to not doing the record ourselves, but we went to EP and or went to a studio in downtown Chicago, recorded. And Ryan, who Brad mentioned, was our engineer, and those songs, I think in a lot of ways were a big time, even just personally for me, like a learning that we can merge, traditional rock music, but also like have a purpose and a message with it. And I don't think we really knew like our mantra as a band now, which we say songs deserve a purpose, is why we create music. But Battlefields, to me, I mean, until our next album, which is going to be incredible, I think still to this day holds a lot of weight, just because it was really formative in us mixing hope into music. That's always been our goal. We want y'all to resonate with not just like this is a great song. I think there's been a thread of hope in our music since the start, and the Battlefield songs were just exploring that. And I don't know, like what do you is there any backstories or things that you would remember from Battlefields?
The thing that I remember about Battlefields was that it was going to be so jarringly different than the things we put out before, with The Search and the Find and You Are Near as a single. And it was those, like I said before, we still love those songs, but those were when we were searching for what we sound like and what music we wanted to make. And by the time we started like really solidifying Battlefields, I think we all understood that was the sound that we wanted to have as a band, and that's the style we wanted to pursue. And so I remember personally, I was just super excited for we did I Am My Own Disease, which to this day is one of my favorite songs we've made.
Yes, thank you guys for the love on that song.
Yeah.
That has been incredible.
And it was just so different than what we'd done before. But for me personally, like just the style of I've always wanted to make. And when we first heard the rough mix with Ryan, and that was the first song we did with him, I was like, this is what we've been called for,
Yeah, it was a different sound. You know what? That's maybe what I was trying to get to, is Battlefields was us stepping into a different sound as a band.
Yeah, different sound, different writing style. I think like the meanings of the songs, we were trying to relate more to like a general theme of like an audience that was maybe struggling with something. So like songs like Sick of It All that everyone knows, or I Am My Own Disease, or When We Rise, We Fall. Like all these themes in each song kind of resonate to someone going through something or fighting something, depression or suicide or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think like even Kid in the Corner, of what Ryan mentioned, is like just the meaning of that song and kind of just fighting off, struggling things you're going through in life.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, I think I think the thread of hope has always been there, and I love that you guys. I love that we're talking about Battlefields. This was like the New Horizons Q&A.
What I know too.
But yeah,
I know, right?
Yeah,
we're going album by
album. But and I feel like to be honest with you, like after we came out of Battlefields, Fault Lines is kind of that similar vein. It was a new sound for us. We felt a lot more mature. As as musicians, just in general. But yeah, we're just so humbled that any of these songs have resonated with anybody. I mean, still to this day, we have an internal chat as a band, and anytime you guys comment like what the song is meant to you, how it's spoken to you, that's why we make music. I mean, we want to connect with each of you guys. And what the crazy thing is, what the song is meant to me when I wrote it is completely different than what it's meant to a lot of you guys. I mean, I think yeah, I like that. As far as what I know, someone who's possibly, yeah, I think when we play these songs live, especially, I'm searching to grasp onto that greater hope, what we believe to be the living hope. And I think yeah, it means something different to everybody, which is incredible. And yeah, guitar tone, that's awesome, Dante. Yeah, that none of us can take credit for. I mean, it's Drew. If you hop on and watch this, our brother who started this crazy thing with us 10 years ago. He's just, I don't know. I don't think those songs would have ever come out the way that they did without his just strong imprint. So he's the incredible guitar player who he helped us push into that other, realm of music.
Yeah, at that moment in time, he was a big factor.
I'm finally catching up on tone now. This guy's got my tone locked in. If you check out Remaking on the new one,
the new EP, yes,
I think that's the best my bass has probably ever sounded in the mix.
Oh,
no offense, Ryan, sounded great with you, but Matt.
If Ryan watches this, the amount of
not
name
Ryan,
drops,
not Ryan Wilson,
the amount
Ryan
of
McConaughey.
Oh yeah,
name
Ryan
drops.
McConaughey.
Yeah. The amount of name drops.
Yeah.
But Matt is an artist with my bass.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like we said, like we wanted to make sure this new one was up to par. So
Yeah.
And it sounds to us indistinguishable quality wise.
Right.
And we just want to keep appreciate that, Ryan.
Keep making music that we believe in, and like we said, that songs deserve a purpose. And we're so excited for, we have some awesome plans for a couple upcoming releases just songs that I think are really our best yet that we've ever, created as a band. And I say that every time, but I think New Horizons kind of, I think we've finally discovered after 10 years, which even talking to a lot of bands, that it takes time to kind of figure out your lane, and I think we've really started to dig into, what Fourth Point is in the sound of these songs. Hey, Jose, thanks for hopping in, man. So we're for those of you that are just coming in, we're talking about New Horizons, our new EP that just dropped a couple weeks ago. Well, how long? A week ago, right? A week ago. Yeah. And we would love to hear, how the songs have resonated with you guys. Some of the, the comments and feedback that we've been getting so far has been super encouraging. I think, it's just been amazing
he brings up
to see that.
So I love Ryan. I love that. So All Along is my favorite from that album, Fault Lines. And we spent a lot of time. Shout out to Nathan Wagner, who did all the instrumentals. I know, it's all just shout outs. Who did a lot of instrumentals in that song. There's a lot of kind of cinematic violins and orchestras, choirs. There's like bells in there. There's a lot of stuff in that mix. If you pick it apart, we'll have to release the instrumental version one day. And but yeah, that one's one of our favorites. We're going like album by album.
Yeah. Dante asked if there would ever be a time where tabs from our songs will be available for people to learn from.
I'm gonna leave that to this guy.
If there's a demand for it, we'll make them. We've been talking a little bit about perhaps doing a Patreon, so we would definitely need rewards for that. So that could be a thing in there. Or, I mean, even without monetizing it, if anybody ever wants to learn my bass lines, just message me. I would be more than happy to take the time to teach people.
Doug Bracicle on Instagram.
I don't sign into Instagram. I don't use that.
You message the band.
Message me on Facebook. But for him, I don't think the way he plays guitar, I don't think he could play the same thing 2 times in a row.
No,
so the idea of
it's
him,
true.
really making a
true.
tab is
It's
I
scary.
don't know if he could do it, but
Yeah.
I could try to figure out what he plays and make a tab, and I'm not great at guitar. But bass, I know those songs. I remember that stuff. So
yeah,
if anybody wants to learn it, and nobody wants to learn bass, but if they did,
of course
I'm there.
they do when they hear these bass lines, and that's actually some of the feedback we've gotten, which is cool. You know, a couple people have said they kind of like the sound of the new songs and just the bass presence, and I think that these new songs definitely reflect just the mesh of us three, and making some of those instruments more present. But I would love to have tabs for stuff. That's so cool. You know what? I would say go make them, give them your best shot, and then Bryce, he's the only one who actually knows music out of this band. He
Brad knows
could
rhythms.
he could annotate it and then make sure things sound.
Trying to think that
it's the
cover
right
didn't have any
notes.
tab. It was just the cover.
Right.
But,
There was one cover.
I was going to read my lines.
But yeah, so
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's always exciting. And then
Oh yeah, make that drum sheet, Brad.
I know I should.
We would love to.
Chart
We would
everything.
love to. So continue. Like I said, just listen to the EP. Check it out.
What's the favorites? Let's go around. Who's
Okay.
Favorites from
New Horizons?
New Horizons, and let's also we're talking a lot about the older stuff too. Let's throw in some of our older
All
ones.
right. Yeah, let's do it.
But New Horizons favorite is definitely Remaking for me. I love a slow burn, and I mean remaking takes its time. It doesn't like when the guitars finally come in after the first chorus, and it's just like a big hit, and then it keeps building with the drums and bass coming in halfway through, and then finally it just explodes into the second chorus, and it's just so cinematic. I love that.
Yeah, I would say production wise too for me. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Brad.
For New Horizons, yeah, Remaking as well. I think it's the most cinematic one as far as you just listen to the instruments and in that down chorus in the beginning, a lot of howls and screams in the background with the violins and everything. Then it really builds up to an epic final chorus. Right Wrong is probably equal though, because we wrote that song at this point like 2 years ago,
Right.
and we recorded the music video for that one, which is the first single, and I don't know, it had so much relevance to society today. So I feel like the meaning of it has it's more special, I'd say. So I'd say they're equal.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
definitely so.
yeah.
And you, what's?
Yeah, I mean, I said on another thing, I kind of go back and forth. I totally have to agree with you from a message standpoint. I think Right Wrong was just a song. I mean, the creation of it is kind of cool. The backstory on that, like Brad said, the song had been around for, about 2 years. So the music video you guys see for that, I mean, that song was in the making for about 2 years. And really when we started to get into the production of, how do we create these songs, there's actually elements on that song that were from the original demos of it. So
which is really cool that they made it to the final mix, things, I don't know, MIDI stuff that you recorded years ago.
Yeah.
Ended up making it into the final mix.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember me, you, and Drew were just sitting around one day, and you and Drew were just going back and forth on guitar lines, and you both just made something up for the chorus and just played on the spot. And I'm pretty sure those tracks that you guys just played on a whim are still in the final mix.
Right.
Because they just sounded great.
Yeah.
It's about capturing it in the moment.
And let us know, what you guys think about, that song.
So did you say mix one, or you said overall?
Well, I would say the message of Right Wrong was probably my favorite. I mean, I think I go back and forth. Now I think Right Wrong's my favorite. If you were to ask me 10 minutes ago, I was going to say Abandon, but I'm kind of feeling.
Dude, you like them all.
I mean, yeah, they've all got.
I like them all.
It's
What
hard
can
to
I
pick.
say?
It's like, who's your favorite kid?
Well, what about
Right,
so what about for Fault Lines?
Fault Lines, my favorite. It's I used to always say Believe. I love Believe, and just the solo is incredible, and I've got a really cool part in the bridge that I'm probably the only person who's ever heard. And
Any bass players out there?
you're a
Come
bass player
on
out
now.
there-
yeah, but you probably wouldn't even know it's bass because I'm playing something so up high and it's like all chord work, and
Mhm.
it sounds like a guitar, but it is bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but now the more I listen to it and the more I think about it, I just think what I know, Ryan Wilson, good taste. What I know, I think is probably just like it's just got such a good vibe. To
Oh
it.
yeah, what I know is
And
great,
it's like
yeah.
it's like a kind of like a poppy dance song in some ways, but it's also like super dark and like the chord progression
you
makes
worked,
it
you
feel.
worked on the chord progression a
like-
lot. I remember.
I remember when we were mixing it in the studio, I would just be bored on my phone and I was reading like spooky stories. So I don't know if that's why I think it's got like a spooky element to it, but I get kind of creeped out listening to the song. Like it's so dark in some ways, but yeah. So what I know, believe for Fault Lines.
I would say what I know is good. I think for me, all along, Brian, like he said, and I mean, all along is just we put so much effort into that song, and it turned out like very polished, I would say, and I think it's very catchy. So personally, but all along's up there for Fault Lines.
Yeah.
And then
I think for me, we're just going through all the albums. Yeah, I think for me, there's a track buried deep in the
Deep.
archives, not in the archives, but I don't even know what track number it is. But there's a song called 180 on Fault Lines that we actually put out a live recording on our YouTube of that, which was fun. But that song. It's just part of me almost feels like it belongs on this next project instead of Fault Lines. I love that song. It's a blast to play. Shout out,
Ryan,
no Trivia. King
No.
the Corner is the song that first caught my ear with you
And
guys.
so yeah, that goes
Thank you
good.
so
Now
much.
Battlefield. So Kid is up there. I think
Mhm.
you like Disease.
Okay,
I
so
love
we did Fault
Disease.
Lines. Now
You
Battlefield.
can see the track listing right there.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's. I mean,
Look.
I've always thought this was before "Sick of It All" blew up for us. I've always thought "Sick of It All" was the catchiest. I loved Andrew's guitar on it. I loved the pre-chorus, the back and forth he does, all the parts he plays. I've always thought "Sick of It All" was my favorite, and then it kind of took off.
Sick of It. Our Battlefields
For
would be
me.
hard to choose.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go on a limb. There's actually a song called Never Going Back on Battlefields that, although the recording of it, which I think is fantastic, it was we had been playing that song for so long,
Yeah,
like
right.
our first shows live, and there's so many memories tied to just playing that song live and getting up in front of people. So Battlefields, you
Yeah.
already said.
Yeah,
I Am My Own Disease.
I Am My Own Disease.
Yes. Yeah.
Long
that's so
title.
cool.
We've really simplified the titles at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just again like the dark feel to it, and it's a slow burn song too. I had a lot of
Slow
trouble.
burn. I like that.
I had a lot of trouble writing the Disease bass line. I remember, and I was like, he was looking at me, and he's like, "What? You don't like the song?" Because I was so thinking about what I could play, and then one day I was in the shower, and it just hit me, and I'm like, "That's it!"
Wow.
And I was
did
just
not know that.
I was just like rushing to get to a bass and just play it and make sure it fit, and I was like, "There we go, that's it."
These are
and
the
then-
stories that are so cool that I don't even know. I love that about the songs. I mean, we're incredibly blessed and thankful for the music that we've put out.
Jenny Tracy.
I think we're
Hey.
most yo, what up?
What's up, Jenny?
I think we're so excited about just what we're creating and continue to like you guys just continue to encourage us on a day-to-day basis, and we've had just some stories from these songs that have profoundly made us continue to want to create. I mean, it's songs deserve a purpose, and that's why we create music. There's a lot of music you can listen to that's awesome, but we just really believe that these songs fueled with a purpose is the best thing. So I love that Kid in the Corner was mentioned a couple times in here.
Yeah. It's cool. It's good.
Just because that song too, like, it's so youthful, but I think it has a pretty profound meaning. So that's probably up there for me too on that album. But Yeah, we're hoping. We're actually just talking about that with live shows. I mean, I think kind of the final thing to sum up too, just talking about New Horizons, why we hopped on here, is obviously we wanted to chat about the new EP that just came out, and maybe we'll do these more like with new releases. This is fun. I like it. It gave us a lot of time to just kind of wrap up this project because we had, and I don't even know if you guys remember this, but one of our probably biggest show opportunities get canceled, right? We had 2 dates on the calendar to open up for like a national band.
Right, about a year ago it would have been.
Yeah, about a
Yeah, it
year
would've been
ago.
April,
And as soon as COVID happened, those got canceled. And I think that, that pushed us to dive into finishing this project, which now looking back, I'm really, I'm thankful for because we've seen just some incredible movement on these songs. And who knows, like if we would have released them at a different time, a different ear was going to hear the songs and, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I mean, we do have something local coming up that we're going to be doing this summer.
We'll announce soon.
We'll announce some more stuff as things happen.
But with the national band who was it?
National.
It was the band that we were going to open up for a year ago.
Something with
yeah. The band we were going to open up for was a group called We Are Messengers. They're like in the Christian contemporary space, which was just going to be awesome. There was 2 totally sold out.
And I think,
dates.
was it right before that we had played with the band called Disciple? So if you guys know them, they're a little harder rock, and also in the Christian, but like hard rock space. And so Disciple has a lot of cool stuff. And meeting them and opening for them was really cool. It was this like super packed bar, like intimate space and setting, and that was a super fun. That was like honestly one of our top 3 shows like ever for sure.
Yeah.
Playing with them.
Jiminia,
and
thank you so much. We are really, really thankful for you and your support and listening to the songs.
Jenny asks, how do I get a signed copy of the new album? Unfortunately, not many people want to buy physical albums anymore.
Everyone's streaming now.
Everyone's streaming.
Tell you what, if you print out a picture of the cover, we'll sign that. No, I'm kidding.
We'll laminate it.
Yeah. But
yeah,
we've been talking about maybe getting some prints of that. So if there's enough demand and people, if we get enough people asking for it, we can make it happen.
I'll tell you what's even better.
If we do a couple prints, we'll keep you updated.
I'll tell you what's even better is go on Spotify if you got it. Hit that big follow button.
Yes.
And give a like to the songs. That really helps us a lot. So I want to end kind of with one, final note. And I didn't prep you guys for this, but let's start with Bryce. What do you ultimately hope people get out of this new EP as it keeps going out into the world, people streaming it each day?
One of the things I remember when we were discussing lyrics for Right Wrong that you brought up was that we really want these songs to make people think. And if we're just releasing a song that somebody can put on in the background and just vacuum the house or just not pay attention to it, I'm glad that they can do that, but that's not really the kind of music I want to make. I want to make songs that engage people emotionally and really make them think.
Yeah.
And so if we
good.
can, even just one line in one of our songs, if that can make people sit and think, like, what does that mean? How does that apply? And just, I think that's something that's going wrong in the world nowadays, is that people don't think enough, and they're just, they're wanting to be told what to think, and they're not thinking for themselves. So if we can make one person somewhere think about one line, that's what I really think I want this album, this EP to do.
Yeah, which is really what Right Wrong encompass, like the whole meaning of that song.
Yeah.
Really it means.
Brad, what would you pile on that? What's your hope for
I would say
for New Horizons?
I would say with the name we decided for the project, I think it really ties into how much the world has changed in the past year or two,
Mhm.
how much we've changed just personally and even with the band, kind of Andrew stepping away,
Mhm.
that we're trying to look onto new horizons of how looking onto like better things. So whether it's the
Mhm.
pandemic ending or the music we're making,
Mhm.
having this whole studio now to record
Right.
in, I think, yeah, looking onto new horizons and just making the best of a situation.
I think that's
So
really good. So more of
yeah,
a personal kind of touch for you. I think
yeah.
that's
Well, then,
cool.
and if anyone else is going through kind of like like if going through anything, getting past looking out at the horizon, and looking to
Yeah. I, I
part
I
of it.
mean, I would honestly just combine both your answers. I think that's the same hope for me is that, that my biggest hope is just that you guys make these songs your own songs, and just that they would encourage you in the moment in time that we're in, because it's tough. Things are tough right now. It's not easy, and we recognize that. But we want to make music, like Bryce said, that makes you think and isn't afraid to uh, press into fear and press into doubt, but instead embraces that. And we believe that that's ultimately gonna can bring healing to you. So I would second all that. I think New Horizons is a totally um, new venture for us, and we have a lot of things planned that we're pressing into to come your guys' way. Every single comment has encouraged us so much to continue doing what we love. um, this commentary relates well to why I mentioned kid. It came on my headphones. Oh, that's awesome. In the middle of a bike ride on a beautiful day. That's amazing. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Yeah, no Triva, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, we just hope that these songs really can become a part of your life, and you'd make them your own, and it would give you a new burst of energy and a new perspective on you know what may be happening during your day. So hold on to hope, everybody. Thank you for loving just on our band. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for this has been the most, you know, I think, quote unquote successful release for us, right? We feel like we've had just in all areas, from the making of it to it being put out for all you to hear. So stay in tune with us. We'll do one of these again more frequently. This
Yeah,
is fun.
for sure.
And be sure, check out New Horizons, go on Spotify. We have some of the links in the description of this video. So if you see it later, be sure to go and follow and subscribe on YouTube and all that if you haven't. So much love, and we hope to uh, rock with you guys soon in person, if not virtually like this. And yeah, much love. Thank you guys so much. Peace.